Alright, come on in, come on in. I know y'all just coming from math class and English class. Yeah, I know they're bored, but hey, it's time to wake up now. It's time to wake up. So, hey, social studies class, come on in. Johnny, sit down. Get back. Alright, hey, Steve, sit down. Alright, come on, hurry up. We're starting class in like 20 seconds, alright? Just group out for a second. Get in the mood here. Little Jack Johnson for you. Alright, everyone in? Everyone good? Alright, hurry up. Alright, good. Alright, go ahead. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about, we ain't talking about algebra, we're going to be talking about the French Indian War. Also known as what? Anybody know?
7 Years' War.
How'd you know that? Okay. Smarty pants. Yes, the 7 Years' War. It's the same thing. French Indian War or the 7 Years' War. Alright, so we're going to be covering this standard right here, North Carolina Essential Standard. Okay? And the Essential Standard today is going to be AH1.8H.3. And then also AH1.8.3.1. Basically, we're going to be understanding the factors that led to exploration and settlement. And then also we're going to be talking about, we're going to analyze how economic and political, social, military factors influence exploration. Okay? Alright. So basically, competing European claims, as I talked about before in numerous detail, the French and British, they just don't like each other. All right, they've been fighting for centuries, and nothing's going to stop soon. I mean, as a matter of fact, after this French and Indian War comes a revolution, and then comes the French Revolution and Napoleon. I'll get to that later. But the bottom line is, the French and Indian War, we're going to get in right now to some of the causes. Okay. So the biggest cause for the French and Indian War is, well, first of all, anybody have a guess why this war may have occurred? Money? Yes, Steve, money. Money's a good chance for start wars. I mean, it's money or women is usually the cause of most wars. In this one, it was no different. Money and the fur trade, basically, and land caused this war to happen. All right, moving on. Anybody know who this guy is? Johnny. No, it's not Napoleon. It kind of looks like him, but it's not Napoleon. Anybody else? Missy, up front.
George Washington.
How'd you figure that out, Missy?
It says it under his picture.
Yeah. Young George Washington. Good hint. Hey, context clues, guys. Always check them out. Thanks to your English teacher for that one, Nate. That's a good one. All right, so basically, in a nutshell, the only thing I really need you to worry about here is this thing called the Battle of Fort Necessity. Battle of Fort Necessity, basically all the bigwig commanders died, and this young buck George Washington had to take over. Now, he didn't actually win the battle, but you know what he did was he made sure he was fighting on the side of the British. He made sure the British forces weren't totally annihilated. So in a way, that was a win. But he did kind of get his name out there in the French and Indian War. All right, moving on. The French and Indian War basically started from 1754 to 1763. Back in those days, we didn't have internet, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff. So when treaties were signed, which is the end of the war, it kind of took a couple of years to take hold. So that's why the years are kind of messed up a little bit. But basically, as I said before, this whole war took place right here in the Ohio River Valley, and it was fought over fur, and it was fought over land. Okay. Alright, so right here, what we got here is basically the alliances. What side was the good guys, what side was the bad guys? Well, that can be argued, right? But bottom line, it was France versus Britain, and both sides had their Native American counterparts fighting with them. However, the British had the colonists, so George Washington and the colonists were actually fighting on the side of the British. Which is weird because a couple years later we fight against them in the American Revolution. But for this war, we fought on the side of the British. Okay? So Steve in the back, pop quiz. What side do we fight on, the French or the British? Steve? British. Wake up, dude. Wake up. All right. Here we go. Moving on. Okay. So what is a treaty? Anybody know what a treaty is? Missy up front, she's good at these questions. What's a treaty?
It's like a peace agreement.
Yeah, peace agreement ending the war. So the Treaty of Paris is the document that actually ended this war in 1763. And in this agreement, Britain gained Canada. They gained all of Canada and all of the French land east of the Mississippi River. So that was a huge amount of land that was gained as a result of this war. All right, moving on. Spain gained all the French lands west of the Mississippi, which was a huge amount of land. And then Spain also gave up Florida to Britain. Okay, moving on. I don't really want to go over this slide too much, but I just want you to know that there was rebellions after this war. This guy named Pontiac, his rebellion, basically the British, they ended up winning the war. The British won the war. And this guy Pontiac rebelled because the British, they weren't very good, they weren't very friendly with the Indians. Matter of fact, they threw a blanket full of, as a gift, full of smallpox to these guys, these Native Americans, causing mass casualties. So obviously there was going to be rebellions. But I just want you to remember Pontiac's rebellion was as a result of the British treating them very poorly. Okay. All right. This one thing right here, the World Proclamation of 1763, is probably one of the main contributing factors of the American Revolution. And basically what this thing said, in a nutshell, basically what it said is, this little line right here is the Appalachian Mountains. It basically made the British made an agreement with the Native Americans saying that the colonies won't settle past the Appalachian Mountains. Now, do you think the British could have enforced that? Heck no. The colonists were like, all right, cool, King. We're just going to go ahead and do what we want. So, of course, this whole thing caused the American colonists to not trust the British and was a key factor starting the Revolutionary War. So, you got to remember that Royal Proclamation of 1763. Steve, or no, not Steve. I've been talking to you too much. Johnny, where was the boundaries of that proclamation? Where could they not settle past? Appalachian. Yes, Appalachian Mountains. They couldn't settle past the Appalachian Mountains, which is what ticked off the colonists and what basically started the American Revolution. All right, moving on. So here's the new after the war, how it was set up. Basically, the French ceded this whole area right here. Okay. And later on, Thomas Jefferson ends up buying that from Napoleon, but that's a little bit later, during a couple decades later. Okay. So right here, last slide right here. Johnny, number one, what were the causes of the French and Indian War? Why did we go to war? Yes, Johnny, we went to war because of money, land, and the fur trade. All right, Missy, she pays attention. Explain Pontiac's rebellion, just in a nutshell. What was that? Do you remember?
They rebelled against the British because they were treated poorly.
Yeah, and the British gave them a blanket full of smallpox, right? I mean, that ain't good. Number three, Stevie in the back, you got this one. Interpret the implications of the Proclamation of 1763. So, Stevie, basically, what was it saying? What was that little proclamation saying? Yes, it set up a boundary. They couldn't go west of the Appalachians. So why did that make the colonists mad? Yes, because it was promising Indian land to them and not letting the colonists settle. So that made the colonists angry. That was one of the key factors of the American Revolution. All right, so who won the war and what was the treaty at the end of the war? Missy, since she's on a roll, who won the war?
The British?
The British won the war and the colonists, right? And then the treaty that won the war was the Treaty of
Paris?
Paris. Good job, Missy. Bonus question. What were the effects of the war? So we did the causes. What were the effects of the war?
More war.
More war. American Revolution, right? So, hey, thank you for paying attention to this class today. What we're going to go in right now, I'm going to give you a little activity today, and we're going to how that's going to happen, all right? It's pretty fun, okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and open your computers up, and I need you to log on to something for me. All right? Well, I'll tell you what the address is here in a second, but right now I just want you to pay attention. All right. So what we're going to do is I want you guys to make a storyboard, all right? We're going to make a storyboard. I actually had fun with this. I made you a little example to see how it goes, but here's what happens. All right. So as you see right here, the red coats are who? Stevie. Yes, the British. The blue coats are who? Johnny. Yes, the French. Okay. So this basically what I want you to do is I want you to make a storyboard with 3 slides on it. I'm going to give you the details here to follow, but it needs to look like this. All right. You need to have like a little background where they're at. You need to have some characters right here, and you need some little text box right here, basically telling the story, okay, of what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so I need 3 separate slides just like this. Okay, there's the first one. Here's the second one I made with George Washington, young George Washington. Here's the third one I made, different background as you notice, some more text, okay? Each slide has to have a background, text, and a character. That's the minimum, okay? So 3 slides of it is what the assignment is. All right, so in further detail, here we go. Number 1, go to the website storyboard that. All right, so everybody right now get on Google and just type in storyboard that. We good? All right. Number 2, create a login. That's gonna take you just about a minute or 2. Just create a login real quick, okay? It's gonna ask you for a 14-day trial. Just get that 14-day trial. Like I said, I want a minimum of 3 slides. I need a background, a character, and a text box. Tell a story, something historically accurate. Number 4, you're gonna be doing this assignment with your album partner. Okay, so just 2 of y'all. Number 5, pick one significant event from the war, i.e. a battle, a treaty, uprising like Pontiac's uprising, economic reasons, political reasons, anything. Something relevant to the French and Indian War. All right, so your final storyboard will be saved as PowerPoint and turned in via OneNote. Okay, we all got OneNote. We all set it up the first couple days of class. Everyone should be on OneNote. You're basically gonna, once you guys are done, you're gonna save the PowerPoint, put on OneNote, and I'm gonna grade you on it for there. Here's how it's gonna be graded. Here's our grading rubric. All right, so like I said, minimum 3 slides, that's gonna be 25 points. Graphics depicting event accurately, that's gonna be 30 points. Use of dialogue bubbles or captions to describe the events, that's 30. And then collaboration with your partner, I wanna make sure one guy or girl ain't doing all the work. That collaboration with your partner, that's gonna be worth 15 points. So I don't want Stevie or Johnny in the back, y'all just zoning out playing video games. That ain't gonna work. Everybody's working here. I'm gonna dock you, or I'll be walking around the room, okay? Anybody got any questions? Everyone good? All right, let's get rocking and rolling. Thanks, guys.